The character of Amazo is embedded with a great core theme that can inspire us all. This underlying meaning can be found in Amazo's evolution from a simple android to an all-powerful being. I'll reveal what that underlying meaning is throughout this video, but first, there are a few steps we must cover for this meaning to really hit home. For starters, we must cover Amazo's first appearance in the DCAU. Amazo made his debut in the Season 2 episode of Justice League the Animated Series titled Tabula Rasa. This is Latin for blank slate, and this term perfectly describes Amazo in this storyline. In this storyline, we see Lex Luthor get whooped by the Justice League, but luckily he makes an escape. Unfortunately, however, his battle suit is completely destroyed, so he visits an old friend to help repair the suit. This old friend being Professor Ivo, one of the greatest mad scientists in the DC animated universe. Unfortunately for Luthor though, Ivo is dead. Luthor's visit is not a total waste of time, however, because here he meets Ivo's android, aka Amazo. Amazo at this point has been guarding Ivo's dead corpse, and that is his purpose. Amazo lacks experience, and he is open to being quite naive, which is exactly what Lex takes advantage of. See, Lex is a master manipulator, one of the smartest people in the DCAU, but here, his actions cause a simple android to be exposed to the great potential of the DCAU. Amazo's simple purpose of protecting Ivo's corpse is completely swapped for a new purpose: help Lex Luthor defeat the Justice League. And Amazo, well, he proves quite successful against them. He has this power that allows him to duplicate any ability, any power, any kind of knowledge. But there's a downside to the power, of course. Well, that downside is that, well, he might gain the powers and the strengths of these heroes, but he also gains their weaknesses. And there's also a downside to being exposed to the larger world of the DCAU. See, throughout the Tabula Rasa two-parter, Amazo battles with the Justice League, and it makes him realize that he has potential for more. There's no meaning to guarding Ivo's dead body. There's no meaning to helping Lex Luthor. There's no meaning to fighting the Justice League. There's no meaning in anything. Or is there? This is the exact question Amazo would eventually ask. Because after his naivete goes away, he realizes Luthor's real motives and he lashes out. But Amazo, he quickly realizes the lack of substance in taking out Luthor. Like, there's no meaning to that. He also quickly realizes that after he's taken every power from the Justice League, there's nothing left they can offer him.
There's nothing I want from you anymore. None of you has anything to offer me now.
The world has nothing left to offer Amazo, so he takes off into the unknown to find true meaning. This change from a simple android to a being now seeking ultimate knowledge is also symbolized by his change in design. He changes from a gray look that is completely in line with his conformity to Lex to a gold look that is completely in line with his newfound power and divinity. Now, personally, I really like this look of Amazo. The design really shows a lack of emotion, which fits with an android. This design also gives Robert Picardo a chance to really shine with his voice acting. The design of Amazo in the comics, in my opinion, is really weak. Also, the Amazo of the comics is kind of a throwaway villain. He has the ability to duplicate powers, but there's no deeper meaning to it. So that's what I like about this DCAU version, that attaches a deeper meaning to his powers. This deeper meaning involving purpose is unraveled even further in Amazo's next appearances in the DCAU. See, after Tabula Rasa, Amazo, he would make a return in the Justice League follow-up show, Justice League Unlimited. The return of Amazo is very grand and epic, if you ask me. He's back from his universe odyssey with newfound knowledge and power, but still his deepest desire is not fulfilled. But what is his deepest desire? Well, after destroying the entirety of the Justice League in space, in the sky, and on the ground, Amazo, he finally arrives at his destination. He finally reaches the one person who might have a solution. This person being none other than Lex Luthor. We get a pivotal scene where Lex, with the help of the Atom, shrinks down to a micro level. And at first, Lex, he thinks he's safe, protected from the android, but in fact, Amazo can still see him. Amazo now has full control to kill the man who exposed him to the outer world. Lex was the one who exposed the android's simple mind to a world of vast knowledge and ambiguity. The ambiguity has driven Amazo to the far reaches of the universe, and yet he still has not solved his one big question. See, Amazo didn't return to get revenge on Lex Luthor. He returned to get guidance on his purpose. Eventually, he'll be forgotten like everyone else. Eventually, he'll be overtaken by time and death. So if that's the case, with all the power Amazo has, why doesn't he just destroy everything in existence? There's no meaning to the universe. There's no meaning to existing. Why does anybody exist? These questions lead Amazo to begin his consideration of destroying all reality. But Lex, he stops this consideration with a logical answer. If Amazo destroys everything,
if you do that, you won't see the end of it.
The end of what?
The evolutionary process.
The evolutionary process. What does this mean? Well, Amazo started out as a blank slate on the outside and the inside, but then he amassed incomprehensible amounts of power, and his outside form, it evolved into something greater. Yet his inside was still empty, still a blank slate. This idea of being a blank slate can scare even the most powerful being in the universe. What is our purpose? I think this question scares all of us at some point. This talk between Luthor and Amazo is very important, and it's a conversation that was inspired by the pivotal philosopher in the 19th century, Friedrich Nietzsche. He based his whole entire work on exploring the issue of human existence, or on a bigger scale, the existence of everything in the universe. This description can be put into one word: existentialism. Nietzsche, he came to the conclusion that everyone, everything, must craft their own identity through self-discovery. Our purpose is to see where everything leads, where our life leads, where our story begins, continues, and eventually ends. Now remember this and see how identical this is to what Lex says in this scene.
My purpose, if you will, is to see where it's all going.
This simple sentence basically tells the underlying meaning of Amazo's character, and in fact, the underlying meaning of life itself. Amazo must become a witness to his life, which could lead anywhere. His potential is so vast, and his journey is far from over. His journey could bring him face to face with an overpowered Solomon Grundy. He could also come face to face with the vastness of the multiverse. The great thing about this, however, is he gets to witness it. No one but himself. This applies to us in life as well. No matter your potential, no matter your circumstance, only you live your life. Everyone's life is different, unique. You are the only one who will witness your life from the eyes of yourself. And there's something quite special about that. Amazo has so much potential, you have so much potential, so I'll leave you with this.
We create our own purpose in life. Now go create yours.